Hi guys, before we start, I want to show you how to make the recipe for the paper mache. First of all, we need a blender or anything that will mash the paper to little bits, and then a strainer and two containers, one for the finished product and the second one for the water that will be strained out. Now, let's get started! As you can notice, there's already a first batch in the blender, so I'm just blending it right now. I blended the paper until it looked like pulp, like this, and proceeded to strain it out. In straining the pulp out, I do recommend it to be fully strained because since it's paper, it still absorbs the water. So even though you can't see any water, it is still watery. I just let the paper strain out there, like chill it at the strainer while I make the following batches so it could strain properly. And then the water that is strained out of the pulp will be reused for the following batches so we don't waste any water. You can make as many, but for our case, I used a lot of papers since I was using it for 2 projects. This will be the last part for making the paper mache. You're gonna need cornstarch and glue for this. For the measurement for the cornstarch and glue, you're gonna want the 2 ingredients to have the same or proportioned in measurement. So if you use 6 spoons of cornstarch, you're gonna put 6 spoons of glue as well.
Sure that the pulp will turn into a whitish color.
We will now proceed with our first step in creating our painting with the use of paper mache. First step will be mixing the paint with the paper mache. Before we mix the paint with the paper mache, we must divide the paper mache according to the expected colors to be used. We have decided to divide the paper mache into 4 groups because we are going to use 4 different types of colors or paints for our painting. As you can see, I'm now trying to put the green paint, the paper mache, and the yellow paint, the paper mache, and mix them all together.
After mixing all of the colors, we will now be sketching the bases for the painting. We started off with the background, which is the sky, and we will now continue with the color yellow, which will add that more sunset effect to the painting.
You could do any project that you want, but for this video, we're just using a sunset.
After we made the background, we moved on to using the paper mache for the grass. As you can see, we're just spreading the green paper mache to the canvas.
After painting the field, we will now proceed and start painting the flowers as well. We use the red or pink colored paper mache to create a circle light that will represent the petals of the flower, and later on added the yellow colored paper mache to finish the look of the flower.
And we'll just be basically repeating this for a lot of the sections and distributing the flowers all throughout.
We wanted to create another type of looking flower, and by doing this, we used the blue colored paper mache and shaped it into a random shape that will also look like a flower, and added a small amount of yellow colored paper mache on top of it. To finish the look, I just scattered some small amount of yellow colored paper mache onto the painting.
And voila! Now you have grass with pretty little flowers. I started with the orange paint to have that sunset kind of vibe, just making stripes all over the yellow gradient of the painting. And then proceed to making little mountains. As you can see, there's purple and blue mountain colors since it's a technique that I learned. And this is how I basically made the little mountains. I pushed the paintbrush towards the canvas and twirled it over to make a little circle. And this will be the last detail that I will be adding for this painting. I will be using a red tinted or red paint, and will be putting just a little bit of stamps over the painting to have that stripe of sunsets. And this is now how the painting looks like. As you can see, I'm just cleaning it over to make sure that there's no gaps in between the mountains and the grass.
This now would be the final look of our project.
That's all and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.